The wait is over. Dive into Audible's most anticipated collection, The Best of 2025, featuring top audiobooks, podcasts, and originals across all genres. Our editors have carefully curated this year's must-listens, from brilliant hidden gems to the buzziest new releases. Every title in this collection has earned its spot. This is your go-to for the absolute best in 2025 audio entertainment. Whether you love thrillers, romance, or nonfiction, your next favorite listen awaits. Discover why there's more to imagine when you listen at audible.com/bestoftheyear.
Shopify's point-of-sale system helps you sell at every stage of your business. Need a fast and secure way to take payments in person? We've got you covered. How about card readers you can rely on anywhere you sell?
Thanks. Have a good one.
Yep, that too. Want one place to manage all your online and in-person sales? That's kind of our thing. Wherever you sell, businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial at shopify.com/listen. Shopify.com/listen.
What makes a high converting website? AI, SEO, search engine optimization, Masterclass. Merry Christmas Eve, and thank you for always being a valued, appreciated, trusted listener. And I hear you, I feel you, I thank you, and I'm grateful for you because you're always listening and learning something, and it allows me to know what you want more of. And that's why I keep coming back more like this, to give you more information that you could use for yourself, for your business, and also for anything that you have online. Now, this is something that I want to talk about today on really what makes a high converting website, right? What makes a high converting website? Are these things that we have to factor in? What do we have to do? What are our strategies? And how are we going to commit to gaining the result that we're looking for? So I'm going to drive these pointers today. And as we're here today listening, please feel free to save this replay or go to wedon'tplaypodcast.com to listen to this again if you want to go back and replay this, because it's going to be very exciting. So as you're listening, if you have any question, please put it in the chat because we're going to have a good conversation today. Hey, Dr. Nimada, thank you for being here as well. And I hope you're all having a great time today. Welcome, John. Thank you for being here. It's going to be an early Christmas Eve. So we're going to, dive deeper into this as we get started. Hey, John, Merry Christmas Eve. How are you?
Hey, Merry Christmas. It is 12:20 on December 24th, and I'm doing great. How are you?
I am great. I'm grateful. I'm excited. Blessed year, blessed week, and really looking forward to so many good things. I know this week is also birthday week for me on Friday, so I'm just...
Oh, really? Nice.
Full of great cheer. Yeah. So
29, right? 26. Okay. So happy birthday. Merry Christmas. I just sent out an email to my students. So that was good. And yeah, the wife and sister are out shopping, getting ready for tomorrow. We're going to have steak. I don't know if you like steak, but we're having really good fillets.
I love steak.
Yeah. So what are you going to do tomorrow? Build a website or something like that?
On Christmas? I would definitely. I know that would be perfect. That would be a perfect way to start the day, actually. So, I'm thinking about, everything and, this week in general. For me, I know tomorrow, I'll spend the morning hours in church, and then after service, spend time with family, and then, see how the day goes, and then, plan a few things as well that I want to do, just for the weekend. And I just felt like, okay, it's time to relax, rethink and reorganize. So that's what I always do usually around this time of the year. And then also my dad's birthday is the last day of the year. So it's always birthday after birthday after birthday. So it's exciting and it's something that I'm grateful for. So yeah, I'm looking forward to so much, for the new year. And I felt like, why not talk about things like this that could prepare us for, the new year coming, 2026.
Yeah, absolutely. What makes a high converting website? Wow, that's a huge question. I don't know if you just want to just dive into it, but
Let's go.
gosh, there's so many options today. And I think one of the fallacies that people think about or kind of think or maybe not educated on is a pretty website doesn't always convert. A super duper professional website doesn't always convert, right? Yes, here's my opinion. So just to give a context of for the listeners, I've been developing websites and I'm not a website developer. Let me clarify. I'm not a website developer, but I build websites. And you're thinking, wait, how does that possible? So let me say that first, I'm a marketer, right? So marketing takes psychology. It takes thinking differently. It's not a technical product, which it has technical issues to it. But it has to have a way of communicating. A website is just a way to communicate an idea, a service to people. And then there's the idea of direct response marketing. How do you get someone to take an action, aka convert? And what does that conversion look like? So if you have a website, there's plenty of builders out there today. I just looked at a AI builder. It literally built a website in 5 minutes for me. So a lot of people can build websites, and that's great. I love it. But if you don't have a mechanism to convert that visitor into, and then of course you got to get visitors, right? So that's a whole nother subject. But once you get a visitor, whether it's organic or paid, through social, through organic, through Google, through LLMs, whatever that is, once they land there is a statistic, Favour, and I know you know this, but all the listeners, there's a statistic, 97% or more, let's just go with 97% of visitors leave a website without doing anything. Now, granted, there are all kinds of different intentions of a website, right? So could be a restaurant website where you're just looking up the food and you're there and gone. Could be a movie website where you're just getting the times of the movie. Could be a service website where you're just checking out the service, like a home services. Could be an e-commerce, like we're in Christmas, right? So we're checking out products and services to buy for ourselves or for loved ones or whatever, right? So many different intentions. And so you have to look at the intention of that customer and then build landing pages that match that intention and then write copy that will help them convert. So what makes a high converting website? Well, that's where we got to get into what is your outcome? What do you want? Do you want just a person to say a shy yes, like name and email? Or do you want them to take action and call you? Or do you want them to buy something? So there's so many different ways to look at this. And that's where we have to figure out more context for your client's website. So again, back to pretty little websites don't convert. And we have when were websites coming on board? Probably like 1996, 97-ish, right? So we've had more than 30 years-ish. Let's call it 25 years. Let's just round it up. And there's been a lot of different iterations of that. And now we can go back to the what sells a book, right? There's a bunch of books on a table, right? The cover of the book gets someone to take action. They pick it up. So when you have good pictures, good text, good call to actions, and multiple calls to action, you can start to get a website to convert. And of course, conversion has to be defined, right? Favour, you have to convert what? You have to convert first someone just a shy yes of, hey, I'll do that download, or I'll, do the opt in to the information download, right? So I'm working with a wedding vendor. What do they want? They want people to tour their venue. Well, first you have to say, hey, what's your prices? And like, just get them to opt in, name, email, phone number, when's your wedding. If you're working with an e-commerce person, maybe you want to give them a discount. So there's all these different mechanisms. And one of the biggest things that you can do if you're dealing with this issue right now is to have the help of an AI assistant. What does that mean? It means that you and I can jump on a AI assistant, let's call it ChatGPT or Perplexity, and help us walk through ideas to help a page. Now remember, websites aren't just a page. There are multiple pages, or they can be multiple pages. They can be the home page, the info page, the specific product page. So you can have multiple intents on a page. Intent meaning what a person really wants or what you want them to do. A landing page, right, is for sales copy. And so you can write text to help a person, a reader, a visitor, read through that and then take action. So one of the things that's really, really cool about today, meaning what we have, the tools that we have, so we can have AI help us think through these processes. And I'm going to pass it back to you or just jump on here, Favour. But I really feel like people need to understand all of these different angles to understand the main question of high converting website.
Yeah, 100%. And you nailed it. And thank you for breaking this down. You said some things that I want to piggyback on too, because it's very important to analyze and look at websites, not just from a landing page standpoint, but also where you taking them to. Kind of like when you land a plane. When you land a plane, the plane doesn't just stop there. It gets to the terminal, to the exit. It gets to the point of entry. So if there's going to be an exit page, an entry page, if there's going to be some type of page that's going to be connected back to your intent, then it has to make sense and has to make the value exchangeable and also of high interest for the person to stay. Like you said, 97% of people come to your website and they leave. They leave because there's no clear call to action. Some people get millions of traffic, but they don't have a single contact in their email. So it gets very dicey when you don't know how many visitors you're getting to your page. You're not tracking the analytics. You don't know what's going on, and you're spending money still on these domains because you have a hosting server, you have something going on in the background to keep your operations in check. So that's very important to look at as well. Angela said something and then she left the room. So I wanted to say hello to Ye, Pedro, Elizabeth, Durana, and Howen. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Merry Christmas Eve. Hope you're having a wonderful week as well. And happy December. Angela says, AI is the wave. Those who don't utilize AI will be left. That's true. That's 100% true. And when you're looking at these things, especially when you think about high converting websites, which is the topic for today, what makes a high converting website? Before I even brought this topic, I did some research. And I've always said this, anytime I bring a topic to you, just know I've done research before bringing this episode or bringing this topic or bringing this room up or making it live, because I know what people are looking for online. And sometimes when they're trying to find something, it's hard. Like I searched this online. I searched today. I was like, okay, on Google, what is Google saying? There's one article out there right now on Google that's talking about 2026 high converting website traffic and pages and blogs, but it's in form of text. So if I'm giving you a live case study now that I'm searching and someone somewhere is going to search for this thing sometime in 2026, what is happening now is that it's a seed that's being planted. If I was the only person in this room, I would still be here till I'm done, because it's not about the size of the room. It's about the impact of the conversation that's going to transcend after the conversation has been had. So looking at a high converting website, welcome back, Angela. AI search engine optimization, traffic, and anything that you're going to do online is going to be super important. Now, I'll give you an example of a website. And you talked about this, John, briefly when you talked about books. And what came to my mind was Amazon. Amazon started off as books. They turned their books into a web page from a physical, tangible thing you can handle. You can touch it. You can feel it. You can feel the texture of the paper. You can flip the books, and they flipped that into a web page that you can scroll and click through and process. So Amazon is a perfect example of high converting websites. Amazon.com, because you go on Amazon.com, the first thing you do when you go to Amazon.com is go to the search bar. No one just goes to the homepage and is scrolling. I mean, unless you have things you want to do there. But ideally, you're going there to search for something because you have a time limit. You have a time allocation. You're not just going to spend 30 minutes searching for something. You might have 3 minutes to do it because there are other things you have to do with the other 27 minutes of your time. So when you think about the high conversion, you have to factor in time. Time is going to be a one big essential. How your website loads, that's time. How the person processes what you say, that's time. How much it takes for them to click through to something, that's time. That's a lot of time to consider. So when you think about a high converting website, those are the things to start thinking through. How can people stay on your website? How can they connect with you? One of the greatest things you can do for your website is have a video. There are different things I'll talk about today. It's having a video. When you have a video, not an uploaded video, a video that is pushed from YouTube, that would be a better way to do it. Because when you have a video that is embedded from YouTube, it now brings from YouTube into your site. So when you're bringing it from YouTube into your site, you're bringing that within a full spectrum of somebody staying a little bit more because there's something for them to watch, because they can see something as opposed to just reading through it. Hey, Don't Guess It, welcome. Thank you for being here. It's been a while. Thank you for being here today with us on the show. I would love to hear from you, John. What are your thoughts on time and how people spend time online, especially 97% of people leaving after they've spent some time on your site?
Let's see. That's a good question. I actually had just started with a new service of capturing, and this is not necessarily answering your question, but let me just preface with this. There are new services like retargeting that can capture those anonymous visitors, which is super interesting. But gosh, the more time we can spend on a website, that's why Facebook wants to keep you on their website, right? That's why YouTube wants to keep a visitor on YouTube. And so one of the other things that we maybe can think about is like thinking through things in a different way. You mentioned videos, having your own YouTube channel. Like my goal right now, this is going to sound really amazing, right? And my goal for 2026 is 1,000 videos on YouTube. And so, like, how are you going to do that, John? Like, well, there's this thing called just get it done and not worry about perfectionism. And I just read that and it just really resonated with me. So having your message, not just your website, on your website, but out there in videos, right? And then take the videos and put them on your website. So you're driving traffic to your website. Well, now when someone goes to your website, they're going to watch a video. And there's other strategies like that. But the question basically, the one I heard you ask me was time. So, it takes time to figure all this stuff out. It takes data. And one of the things that we can use to keep people and to understand the intents and where people are at is use the dashboard, right? So whoever has not implemented the Google dashboard, then they need to implement that right away. And for people who are like, what, John, what's the Google dashboard? It's Google Search Console. And then, of course, the other dashboard that you want to implement is Bing or Microsoft Workspace. What's it called?
Clarity.
Webmaster Tools.
Too.
So So Webmaster Tools through Microsoft or Bing. And then also, you just mentioned it too, Microsoft Clarity. So there's like these tools that we can implement. Of course, we want Google Analytics. That's a given. Google Analytics is a given. But we can really dive in to understand the traffic. So number one, if you just don't even have a website, well, get something up. I just mentioned that story about getting my videos out. A lot of people have paralysis by analysis. So step number one is get something up, right? Get something up. Don't overanalyze. Just get it done, get it live, and then start to build. Like, so phase one for you, let's just say you're getting started, the listener who has nothing going, get a website, get a domain, get a website going up, get a page up, get your basics. And if you don't really know how to do this, go to ChatGPT and say, hey, I need to build a high converting website for this niche, name your niche, and I'm in this area if it's local, and start to build. And then use some tools to help you build. If you don't have the ability to do that, hire somebody. Schedule a call with Favour. You can contact him through his links online here. And then what you want to do is, if you're already past that, if you already have a website, then you get Google Search Console, the tools, okay, the tools set up on your website. If you don't have Google Search Console, do that today. It's easy. It's free. It's free. Okay. Like, it's crazy, right? We have free tools. And I think one of the problems of Favour is that people get overwhelmed by tech, or they say, oh, I don't even understand what I'm doing. Okay. Well, then that's where you want to hire somebody to help you. And then for 2026, you got to have a game plan. You got to have a plan to get these people onto your website, keep them. Now, when you say keep them, how can you keep somebody on your website? Well, number one, you can do videos like we were saying. You can have a sign up for an email, like, hey, download this really cool thing, right? Let's say you're going to give away your process, like, let's say if we go to Favor's website and we can download the step-by-step guide to X, right? Or whatever. And if you don't want to do a lead magnet, you could do a master course. You could do a 10-minute consultation. If you're a real estate agent, just, go to ChatGPT and give yourself ideas, give yourself permission to explore things that will help you. And one of the things you can do is, here's the secret sauce, use experts, name, if you have an expert in the field, hey, I want to, let's just say, who's an expert in the field of, I don't know, whatever. Let's say if you find an expert's name, okay, let's go to Amazon and find a person who wrote a book and say, let's say there's about web development and high converting websites. And then you use their name and say, hey, give me 7 strategies that this person, name their name, uses to convert more visitors to customers or to leads, right? And then build that out and get yourself thinking in a way. So we're not here to hide information. We're here to expand your brain, expand your mind. And then if you do need help, then you can hire Favour. You can hire an assistant. You can hire somebody to help you execute these things. And that's one of the main things that I really want to implement. Is there's a lot of technical things, but if you're not technical, then you got to hire someone who is technical. But just because they're technical doesn't mean they have the marketing chops, the marketing skill, the marketing know-how to actually do all this stuff. I've run across this. People are super smart, but they can't think outside the box. They're real left brain people, but you need right brain and you need left brain. And that's the more long-winded answer to your question, Favour, is keeping people on your website is not a one-stop shop. It's like there's multiple things you can do. Now, kind of like the out-of-the-box answer is, put remarketing code on your website, right? So someone comes to your website, they get remarketed through like Facebook or Google. And I'm going to pass it back to you. Hopefully that was helpful.
That was very helpful. I feel like it's like scrambling for a lot of information at the same time. It was a lot, and I hope you caught it, and I hope you're able to act on it, because this is just information which is free, and it's the application that's going to change the status of what you're intending to change. So I'm excited that we are here, talking about this as well. So thank you, John, for that. You don't guess it. Thank you for being here. It's been a while. I don't think I have seen you on the app in a while. We've been talking, but not on Clubhouse. How are you? And we'd love to hear your feedback on anything you have in mind.
Hello, yes, that's true. Haven't been in Clubhouse in a while. I actually was just jumping out from another meeting and I jumped in here. Happy accident. So, yeah, I guess very useful stuff. And incidentally, I actually was talking to my website developer, I should call her. So, all of that is the language, right? So, clarity in the language on your website so you can attract your targeted customers and interested parties. So that there were certain things that were not quite aligned, and today was supposed to be an overview meeting on 2026 way forward. What would you like to see? And in developing the newsletters, I noticed that the language was wrong, and we went back to the website because everything. The development of the newsletters and everything comes directly from the services and offers on the website. So we went back through the website. It was a painstaking procedure, but it needed to be done. There are certain things that were there that for some reason I did overlook. And so doing that frequent inventory of your website is very important. So when your dashboard is fun and going on Google and everything, you're really targeting the people that you want to target and the people that you want to attract. So that was the lesson for me here today and all of that. So I am one of those people that I'm not very technical, so I hired Favour. So yeah.
I love it. It don't get it. No, thank you so much for, being here. And I'm really excited that you're taking this step. And I know, especially with the website and how, the developers have been building it, from what we're even going through and talking about here, I'm also thinking about ways that it could also play a big role into next year, knowing that, YouTube is a big spot for engagement, a big spot for watch time, for watch hours, and people visit websites through, email contacts and newsletters and updates and those things. So I think everything is just definitely going to come together once it's all in place. But looking at them from a holistic standpoint is better, knowing that every year you're able to look at it with a different set of perspective, a different set of eyes, a different set of lenses, and it allows you to even have a much broader scope of getting your information out there to people who are looking for you, because you're not writing for yourself, you're writing for people. So it's definitely something to consider as well. There's something I wanted to mention too. I put in the chat for those who are here and you're looking at the chat and you're like, what is this? I put in the chat options: video, quiz, lead magnet, episode, and CTA button. Those are options. You can use different options. Any of those options work well when it comes to high converting websites. So video, we just talked about it, how you can put your video there and let people watch your video. Quiz, if you think about, I'm sure you've probably done a love language quiz or a personality quiz or a DISC, a DISC quiz, or whatever type of quiz you like to, embark on online. And when you go online and you get those quizzes, you're able to go through them and you're able to now, leave your contact information. That is a high converting website because the person is now getting leads. Oh, how do I become a better person at this? Okay, how do I become a better cook? Okay, here's a quiz on cooking. What type of cook are you? And then you now start getting to connect with people because it's high converting, because it's creating a high signal. So that when you hear high converting, it's a high signal. And when you start having high signals, the high signals start to trigger waves and frequencies to algorithms, APIs like Google, like Bing, like John talked about. There's Yandex, there's DuckDuckGo, there's Naver, there's Ecosia, there's Brave, there are so many out there. But Google is the main one. Once you're in Google, it starts to distribute. And if you're able to manually do it, great. Automatically, it could get picked up. And that the same thing applies for podcasts, because when I look at websites and podcasts, they're one and the same things. It's technically same difference, because podcast is RSS feed, which is really simple syndication, and websites is XML and HTML, or HTML/XML, which is hypertext markup language and expandable markup language. So that's language for the bots. That's language for scripts. That's AI and all these search engines are all looking into. So if we're reading the scripts and if we're writing the scripts and we're telling the same things that we're telling the search engines, it's going to be a good way for us to get that credibility. Now, when you think about converting websites and high converting websites, you're looking at these things to help you with your traffic, right? Lead magnets would be good too. Hey, get this free offer, or here's our magazine for the month, or join us for exclusive updates, or get this to get 10% off, or qualify for free shipping by doing this. Anything that you're going to do that will help your business gain more foot within the grounds that you're showing up on is going to be a good thing for you too as a business. Episode wise, you can have episodes. That could be a great help. Someone can say, oh, you have episodes. I like your titles. Let me click on them. Let me listen to you for a minute, for 2 minutes. And it happens. People listen to you from everywhere. Last week, I was talking to somebody from Estonia that we had featured on the podcast, the We Don't Play podcast show. Never met him before. He found me, connected, and we talked. Great guy from Estonia. And yesterday I got to meet with somebody on LinkedIn who's now booked with me from the podcast from Lithuania. And he sent me a LinkedIn message saying, hey, I found your podcast on my feed. So he didn't tell me what type of feed. So I said, I'll wait till we get on the call and ask which feed did he refer to exactly, so I can know the feedback on how I can feed more people with information like that. So when I'm seeing someone from Lithuania, from countries I've never been to myself, that are listening in, that are tapping in, it asks a question and it puts you into perspective and says, okay, what am I doing with my website? What am I doing with my content? How are people connecting with me? And the same things I'm doing, the same thing you could be doing. Website, LinkedIn, YouTube, podcast, email. These are platforms that are optional, but they're available, because when you have that CTA button, which is a call to action button, you want people to now take interest. Oh, take me there. Let's make it official. Like if you click the link above and you put your contact information here and let me know what options you're looking at, the button says, let's make it official. That's an intentional button. I didn't just say sign up or click here or act now, because that would not have any emotional connection. It wouldn't have any psychological attachment. There would not be any intention behind it. There would not be any expectation. When that happens, it now makes it feel like, okay, now the ball is in your court. Now it's your turn. Tag, you're it. So when you do the same thing with your community and you're letting people know about how they can connect with you, it helps. Contact us, request a quote, fill information. These are things to help out with. If you have a brick and mortar location, if you have a store, online store, and there's a phone number that people can use to call you, put that number literally on your website. Let people read the number on the screen so that people can call you. If there's an email, let them reach out and call you there, or send you an email on the spot. When you have those things accessible, it helps, because you're able to now let people know, hey, I have a website. If you found me, now that you found me, here's how you can access me. Because it's one thing to be found, and then it's another thing to be accessed. I can find you online, but am I going to access? I don't know. We'll have to see. So that finding and accessing has to match, and that will take time, because the trust also has to be involved. That's why it's good to be on social media. Have social media accounts that you can reference back to your website, because a high converting website involves social media. It involves emails. It involves video, text, audio, text that involves images that don't have text. Maybe I could call like a picha kucha, way of doing it. But if you're creating a follow-up that's going to lead people to finding you, it's going to make a big deal, right? Location pages. If you have locations in different stores, have location pages. If your location is in A-Town, put it in A-Town. If it's in B-Town, put it in B-Town. And the B-Town should say B-Town both in the title and in the URL. It shouldn't just say B-Town on your business card, because that's not going to hold any value. It's not going to hold any water. So when you're creating content online, it has to match NAP. That's name, address, phone number. Address is your World Wide Web address, or your virtual address, or your physical address, or your online address. But it's an address that's going to be addressed to you. You've heard this before, address how you want to be addressed. So if someone is going to say, hey, we saw you online and we saw that you do this, that is them addressing you how you dressed up. So if you're dressing up for someone to say, hey, you look nice, or you smell good, or what's that, or what you wearing, or who's that, or oh, this is cool, I like this, or give me that. You start creating an actual informal space that is very warm, welcoming, and also promoting in a way that actually benefits both parties. That's where you start to see that conversion come in. Don't just say, hey, buy this now, we have this on sale. Okay, that's fine. Everybody's having a sale today, or a sale next week, or a sale in the new year. But if you're selling things that people can value and see the value in what you're selling, then eventually you wouldn't have to sell anything, because they'll be doing the buying, right? From browsing to buying. People are going to find you online. That 3% will see it. They like what they see. They connect. The reason why most people don't follow through is because they're not seeing what they want. That's why YouTube is the highest platform that has the most skips when it comes to ads. People don't like seeing ads on YouTube. People would rather skip an ad than watch a full 2-minute ad that they didn't plan to watch. They click that video because of the video behind the ad. So when you see those things happening and you see people want to watch videos they came for, leads that they came to see, quizzes that they came to participate in, that's where the conversion comes in. So don't think of conversions as just sales. Think of them as signals, right? Because someone can say, hey, I'm interested. Now, interested may turn into yes or no, because I can be interested and then I realize, oh, maybe this is not for me, or maybe not now, or maybe maybe another time, or maybe this is what I need now, or I should have had this. So it's going to depend on that information that you disseminate when you create that connection between the two parties. So it's very, very important to think about using your social media and using your website correctly to get a high converting website, whether it's through leads, contacts, sales calls, invites, requests, emails, anything that you're going to see there. It's going to help a great deal. If you have any question, put it in the chat, because I would love to answer your question today, and I'm sure we can definitely cover this. John, Idongese, what are your thoughts on this, and what have you seen in your area?
Okay, so full disclosure, I'm walking into the kitchen to get something to eat. Can you restate the question, please? I was listening, but I didn't get the...
Okay, no worries. So the question is, how are you seeing the way people are using social media today when it comes to websites and conversions? Because there's always a big conversation between, I have a website and I don't need social media, or I have social media and I don't need a website.
Well, we're all connected, right? So just think about connectivity. So some people are on different websites, some people are on different social platforms. So don't think about it as social media or your website or whatever. Think about it as connectivity and different audiences. Just like we are in this room talking about something specific, social media has different intents and platforms. So it all works together. So one of the things, I will answer the question in a very specific way. Here's a tactical answer, is quizzes. You hit the nail on the head when you said quiz. And so quiz can help you tremendously. Everybody in this room can write a quiz. You can then put that quiz out on Facebook, out on Instagram, out on TikTok, and get people to take it. So quizzes are really, really cool, right? So number one, you have to have a mechanism, which is what I'm talking about right now, a quiz, and make it about something challenging. So challenge your intended audience, the audience that you want to work with, challenge them in a way. Now, if you don't know how to do that, you can use AI to help you think through that process and then write a quiz. Here's a really cool other tool that we've mentioned in other rooms. Notebook LM has a new feature to write a quiz for you. So what do I think about social media, keeping people on their website, getting clear on what you want? So all of this works together. Getting clear on what you want first, and then writing that mechanism to do what you want. And the mechanism I am referring to right now is a quiz. So can you, everybody listening, could you do me a huge favor, some feedback? What does everybody want, just in a generic way? What's the first thing that comes to your mind that you want? Not like I want money, I want a customer, but what would you want your website to do in the sense of what we're talking about? Like what's the first thing you can think about? Put it in the chat. So give me a subject matter. Like, I want my website to do something. Hopefully. I want to talk. Okay. Well, I don't think you can talk right now. Favour, help me with this question here, because everybody wants a customer, everybody wants a client, everybody wants money. So how do we, if that's what we want, we can work ourselves backwards. So if we want that, how do we go from step 1 to step 2 to step 3, right? And so one of the ways to get to what we want is by having that ability to get people to engage. So what do I want? To answer my own question, I want to build a quiz which will engage a person. If we can engage a person, we can get information. What do they want? So a lot of people, have you ever got an email that says, like, Favour, you just mentioned this, you want to buy my stuff? Right? Like, no. I made this really big mistake the other day, and I reached out to a CEO, and I was too direct. I was like, hey, let's talk about blah, blah, blah. So, it's like, we're all human. So I should have just reached out and said, hey, I have a question for you, and just started a normal human conversation. And so this is what a quiz can do for your business, is start a normal human conversation. Hey, what do you want for your business for 2026? So then work yourself backwards and go, let's say if you're in the book space, right? Or if you're in the health space, what kind of body do you want? Take our 7-step quiz, or take our challenge, take our body health quiz, or whatever. I'm sorry, I can't think of a good name right now, but that's what I would do. And if you need more help, you can call Favour and he'll help you through it. There you go. That's my thoughts. Long-winded.
No, it was well said, John. Thank you. Very important. You have to look at these things and also factor in the experience of the customer. And, tell someone to just buy something. It's like, okay, why? And then you're already within let me say it this way, actually, before I even say anything else. When you said this, John, about, do you want to buy my stuff? And I talked about it earlier. Something came to my mind as I was speaking earlier, and I want to mention this now. When you ask that type of question, you're already starting at a negative, as opposed to starting at 0. So you're starting at -1, as opposed to starting at 0, because you're supposed to move to a +1, but you've now started at a -1. And what do I mean by this? If you're asking somebody a question that they didn't prepare for, and they are not actively going to do in the real time that you ask them that question, then more often than not, most likely they're going to say no. And that no is going to set you back, because you're going to have to ask another question to bring you back to 0. So instead of starting off at, do you want to buy? The question now would be, what is your pain point? Or how may I help you? or tell me more, or discover, or learn more, or request proposal, or something that's going to have a positive sentiment. And why I'm also saying negative and positive is because of the sentimental value, right? Even with AI, because we're talking about artificial intelligence too. There's a negative sentiment, there's a neutral sentiment, and there's a positive sentiment. So the positive is a +1, the neutral is a 0, and the negative is a -1. So if you're going to start a conversation with a negative in mind, prepare for whatever negative that's going to compound on that, because a -1 plus a -1 is -2. So when you create a positive sentiment that's going to allow someone to answer more questions without you asking, because you've provided the answers in form of questions they would have asked previously, which is a Q&A or an FAQ or a quiz or an about us or ingredients or something of that nature, you're answering their questions as they're in discovery mode, because that discover means they have not decided. They're in discovery, and discovery can be, okay, maybe later, okay, I'll come back tomorrow, and then never come back. But if they discover and they decide by leaving their contact with you, now the ball is in your court to decide what you want to do with that information you gave them. So you want to also think about that conversion from a gain both ways as opposed to a gain one way. Because of what gain is it when it's one way, when you're supposed to have a two-way conversation? At some point, it's gonna crack, it's gonna break, and the trust that you're thinking you're building is now being set back by 10 points. So you want to make sure that you're not overstepping those things. And when it also comes to money and finances and conversations like that, it can get very sticky, whether it's corporate, whether it's personal, whether it's private, whether it's relationship, whatever it is, there's always going to be that edge. But if you're able to have conversations in a mature way that also make sure that it's beneficial and it's understandable, it's clear, then there should not be any loopholes. But if there's an intention or an incentive or something that's going to be done that is not aware or being consented to, then that's where the problem becomes a problem. So it's very important to look into those things. You don't get it. Thank you for the clap. I wanted to hear from you too, if you wanted to say something. Yeah, and then John.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all want money. We all want clients, like John said. But what do you have to offer? I think we forget to sell ourselves first, or we forget to sell our skills as opposed to the product. Because most people don't buy your product; they buy you. So what do you have to offer? That value that you offer is what people come for. What would make somebody click further into your website? So I'm multifaceted in the sense that I straddle the healthcare world as a professor where I teach. So the value that I bring to nursing students and nursing school is very different from the value that I bring with my healthcare technology to nursing homes, to hospitals, to clinics, right? And it's also different from the value I bring on the podcast side of things. So it is important to highlight the value that I bring to have somebody interested. So I've been in a habit of, when I will never be a fan of cold outreach. It's not my thing. Maybe that's why I'm kind of like, not speeding through the customer acquisition phase as people expect me to do. But, just slipping into somebody's inbox and it's not my thing. I want you to be curious enough to click it and like, okay, what's going on here? So I've been in a habit when people get salesy with me, especially on LinkedIn, oh, I am the da-da-da-da-da, we have this and we've helped however many million CEOs, da-da-da-da. I said, oh, great, that's wonderful to hear. Also, this is what I have to offer. Are you interested? So if you want to sell me, I can sell you too. So this is what I have to offer you. Do you want to buy from me? So you want to sell? I can also sell. So it is really off-putting when you lead with, salesy antics or salesy talk, as opposed to highlighting the value you can bring to that person or that person's company or that person's work. The marketing thing, not being something that is something I'm learning, but to do it on an everyday basis, it's a skill you have to learn over time, and it's a skill that you have to learn in a way that doesn't put people off. Because 550 million people have things to sell. My inbox is full of, last chance sales and, oh, after this, I'm closing things off kind of sales. And, in the beginning of my entrepreneurship journey, I felt a lot of those things. And now it's the reason I unsubscribe to a lot of people. Gary Vee actually talked about it, offer, value, offer. So by the time you have something to sell, it's a no-brainer. People already know what you bring to the table or what you have to offer. So it's not like, here it is. Here's a shiny new update. Here's a shiny new update. Buy it. It's like, no, you help people along the way. You offer great advice. You offer great value. And by the time you have a product, it's like, oh, you don't even have to convince me on it. I know who you are. I know what you offer. I'm going for it. So putting yourself out there is not the most comfortable thing. I know it was very uncomfortable for me. However, I'm improving on it, and I'll continue to improve on it. But, letting people see the person behind the brand is also very important.
I love that. Yes, you're so right on that. Especially those last chance. I see them and I'm like, it's your last chance to be on this inbox. If you have to think about how people are also addressing it, is it genuine? Does it feel like it's forced? Does it feel like they're trying to meet a quota? Are they trying to, just hit a target, like a sales objective, which is great for everyone. Sales is definitely important, but I think the way you treat sales and the way sales is treated is important too. I mean, money can be squashed, it can be printed, it can be ironed, it could be rolled, it could be bundled. But at the end of the day, the value is the same, but it's the way you present it that shows the intent behind what you're giving. So it definitely makes sense. And I love how you said that presentation is definitely key. That's why even some restaurants, they don't put the price in their menu, because they want you to think about the experience of what you're eating and not how much it costs, because the cost is going to affect the experience. So there's a lot of psychological things to factor in when you think about websites and landing pages, numbers and pricing and all that good stuff. So thank you so much for that, Get It. John, we'd love to hear from you too.
Well, I just heard this the other day, and it's another way to language things. So the phrase is, everyone write this down: if you're struggling with X, then Y is your answer, or could be your answer. So if you're struggling with getting traffic to your website, let's just say that I'm going to use myself, hiring John for blank, whatever service that is, could be your answer. So you're dropping a seed in their mind, like, hey, hey, Favour, if you're struggling with whatever, then hiring so-and-so or buying this product could be your answer. I thought that was really good. It's like, it's not like buy my stuff, right? So like when we're all in Walmart, if you're in the US or if you're at a store and you're looking at a product, you are thinking what that product is going to solve for you, the outcome. Okay, so like if you're buying a new laptop, what's that laptop going to solve? The problem it's going to solve for you. Is it going to be faster? Going to get more work done? You're going to have more capacity, so you won't have to do whatever. If you were looking for a new car, that new car is going to help you get to the new place in a better style, fashion, safer, quicker, without problems, right? So when you say buy my stuff, like, do you want to buy a car? Not really, but I do want to solve the problem, right? So if you say, hey, if you're struggling with blank, then X could be your answer. That's another great way of saying what you want to say without saying buy my stuff.
I love that. Yeah, it's definitely the intention of how you say it and not what you say. Because you can say it all day, but if it's not resonating and it's not clicking, then it's not going to make sense, and not going to make sense on both sides, SENSE and CENTS. Definitely. It has a lot to play with how you position your targeting, even the syllables that you use. How do people connect with you? Where do they find you online? Are they able to see this and you can translate that? A high converting website means that a high conversion requires a high intention. I'll say that again. A high conversion requires a high intention. And I'll give you an example with Microsoft Clarity. Microsoft Clarity, usually on the left side of the screen on the dashboard, there's something that says low intent, medium intent, high intent. So it talks about, if you see high intent, you're going to see clicks, page sessions, you're going to see all that kind of stuff. When you see that activity, it tells you what the person that actually wants your product is doing in real time by just watching it. I always call Microsoft Clarity the security cameras for websites, because you literally can scan and see what everybody's doing, because it's literally scanning everything from 365. As long as you have that script, it's going to be there. And it's a good thing because you're able to see it. It's not necessary, but when you start driving traffic there through, like, let's say email signups or anything of that nature, you want to start attracting and tracking those things, because a high conversion means a high intention. And if my high intention was to sign up, scroll, click, purchase, or sign up, fill a form, and wait for your response because I have something to do in a week, and because I saw your website the week before, I'm waiting for your response so that you can call me or email me back because I've sent a request for a proposal, that's now going to be something that's going to require a high conversion with a high intent. So that high intention allows you to now say, okay, how can my high intention remain high? Because it can turn from a high intention to a low intention very fast. And how can that happen? Let's say you have a video talking about before and after, and now you've shown the whole product, you've shown the whole idea of how this works. Now the person is excited, they want to buy, then they get to the checkout and they realize that the button's not working, or they can't put in their shipping details or their billing details. Now that has turned from a high intent to a low intent, because now that conversion, you've led somebody, kind of like saying, hey, watch this video because the thumbnail looks amazing. Then you click on the video and it's nothing compared or nothing close to what you thought it was supposed to be. You're going to leave because that low intent has now led you to hit exit or hit close tab. So you don't want to get to that point. That's why when you're able to look at the full intention of the high conversion, it's from end to end. It's from idea to execution. It's from discovery to decision. Those are major things to look into. So when you have a high converting website, consider the things that people are looking at: the videos, the images, the quizzes, the forms, the chatbots, the widgets, anything that's going to allow someone to see, okay, call us. Oh, you're looking for this? Okay, question mark. Let people see that. Confusing people is not a good thing online, because the more people you confuse, the more people you repel. The clearer the message is, the faster the response gets. And why does that fast response gives you a bigger chunk of market share? Is because when you start getting more activity on your website, meaning that more people scan your page, more people stay, people watch, people do all the things we've talked about in the last hour, what you start noticing post-wise is, or even say post-publishing, is that everything that you're putting out there is eventually going to pick up on a wave. It might be 2 impressions today and might end up being 2,000 impressions next week, or 2,000 impressions a year from now. Your focus is not the result. Your focus is the outcome from the result, right? So if you fail a test and you do the test again and you pass, you're not thinking about what you failed. You're thinking about moving on to the next thing because you've passed what you failed before. So when you think of a high conversion, you're thinking about what people are connecting to. If they sign up to your website, they connect with you, and they want to book a call with you because they clicked, I'm interested in buying shoes. Now, you're going to tell them what type of shoes they are. Is it leather shoes? Is it, do they have laces? Are they comfortable? Are they red bottoms? You start getting into the specificity of why that shoe is important to them and what they're going to match with what they're wearing because of the intention behind what they search for. So the high conversion is the high intent. I'm intending to do this for this reason, so I'm going to do this for that, result, which will lead to this outcome. So it's very important to think about these things as a business owner, as a website, and also consider these things by refreshing your pages. Some of us have not looked at our website all year. We're going to 2026, and some websites still have 2023 copyright. That means it hasn't been updated since 2023. A web page has, and a blog specifically, that is high landing and also high converting and high activity, has a lifespan of 24 months. That's why when you go to a website or like Google and you look for something, even when you go to YouTube and you're looking for videos, yeah, you might get a video that is recently published, but you're going to get a video that is most watched or most read or most clicked because it's been showing up most of the time, going back to time. So when that time and that season comes, because there's a time and season for everything under the sun, when that time comes, like right now, this is a week of Christmas. Next week is New Year's. Then it's Valentine's. And then it's Easter. And then it starts again. And then we're back here again next year, God willing, Black Friday. And then again, it's Christmas. So you see that roller coaster? It just keeps happening every year. So if you're able to track back 24 months and say, okay, this happened 24 months ago, what could happen 24 months from now? And I'm able to capture it within 2 cycle loops, then you're fine. But you have to understand where that's coming from for you to know even how to target and be in that space of authority. So high converting websites does not just mean that you have a pretty website like John started with today, because you could be pretty on the outside, but not so pretty on the inside. And not many people, I don't know a lot of people that would want that. So you want to be both pretty on the outside and the inside, because it's your character that matters. It's your discipline, it's your respect, it's the value that you hold for yourself that you will hold for others. You can't give what you don't have. So conversion requires conversation. And I don't think there's any conversion that has ever happened without a conversation. Whether it's a deal, a contract, a meal, whatever it is, there's going to be a conversation before the conversion. What do you want? How can I help you? What's your pain point? Do you need anything? That question is important. So just to give you a little bit of a clue, right? When you look at the title of today's room, it says, what makes a high converting website? ? The reason why there's a question mark is because when you have question marks in your titles, when you have question marks, meaning that you're answering questions people are asking, then you become the reference, you become the source of reference. If someone is asking, hey, Alexa, I need this for that reason, give me a recipe book that will help me to make da-da-da-da-da, then you're going to get a recipe book on a website that is connected to a YouTube video that has a tutorial on the food that you want to cook. So there's going to be a connection between all these things coming together, but it requires you to be intentional, back to intentionality, on how you're able to give that information to someone that needs it at the time they're looking for it. So the best way to plan for something in the future is to prepare now. I'm sure a lot of people are doing 2026 resolutions. It should be 2026 intentions, 2026 visualizations, things that you want to do, action points, not just talking points. But if you're able to turn that from talk to do and from do to more doing, that will allow you to do more things for other people and you're expanding on your time, then that's a great way to really expand over time. So don't think about your website being a dormant page or a dormant site. Think of your website as an asset. And if you can increase that, it can help you a lot. That is something that I know for sure. You mentioned something about leads. And when you think about leads and building out leads, there are so many ways you can do these things and bring them out. So because, it's my birthday week, I'm very in a giving mood. I've been like that all week. And I want to give you guys something that you can think about. And I'll bring it as a topic of interest, but I want to just plant a seed today. So if you're listening to this now, you can try it out. If you've never seen it before, here you go. There are 2 platforms I'm going to talk about. One receives and one gives, but both of them kind of do the same thing. I'll start off with the one that receives. happierleads.com is a website. I got to talk to the founder of the platform, and this was early on. I think it was like sometime last year or so, and they've really improved right now. And with Happier Leads, they capture your traffic with contacts, and then those contacts are just saved there, but you'd have to pay by subscription. So that is something that if you want to do, I'm just mentioning this out there, that you want to try it out, please do, because sometimes it's not everything that you pay for, it's not everything that you need. But if there's something that you're looking for, then, and that's something that you need, then that's something that you can use. I'm just giving you a disclaimer there. So I don't like to stuff with information that, okay, you need this, you need this, you need this, yet you don't even need anything other than just something simple to take you to the point A to B. So that's one way of receiving it for leads. Happierleads.com. That's one platform. Now, giving is different. There's a website called bookyourdata.com. I'm talking to their team now as well, because I want to see how this can help more businesses that want to get into, getting all these things when it comes to, getting leads and adding them to your pipeline if you need them. And I thought about it and I said, okay, you can check this platform out. It works by credits. You don't have to pay to play. In other words, you don't have to keep subscribing. You could just, pay your credits if you need. They'll give you 10 free leads first, and then you can now start, paying as you go. It's subscription based on what you pay for. So if you, let's say, buy 100 credits, that means you have 100 contacts you can extract. And then, of course, they have their bulk pricing. They're not paying me to say this. Neither platforms are. I just wanted to make sure that you can hear this, because when we're talking about websites and I bring this conversation up again somewhere, at least you know that I talked about it some time ago. So that's happierleads.com and bookyourdata.com. Why I'm doing this specifically is because I always do research, and I was online, full transparency. And before even I started this room, I typed in bookyourdata.com on Apple Podcasts. And the episode that I saw was an episode from, I have a photographic memory, 2018. I'm going to do it again so that I can make sure that you get the right thing. There we go. Boom. So 2018, July 24th, 2018. And then there was another episode, June 23rd, 2018. And shout out to the marketing automation discussion. That's a vocal citation I just did right there. Now, seeing that the last time that episode or that website in itself, in its entirety, was last talked about in 2018, and we're in 2025, guess what? If somebody types in what I just said now, bookyourdata.com on Apple, they're going to see this episode. And if they go to Google, they're going to see this episode. If they go to ChatGPT, they're going to see this episode. Why? Because it's a way of creating a high conversion by the search intent, right? So if you're looking for leads, that's where you can go. If you want to attract leads, we've talked about quizzes. We've talked about lead magnets. We've talked about how you can build that trust, how you can drive traffic through social media. There's inbound and outbound marketing. None of them are wrong. It's just how you're able to position them. And not every business has the same way of doing business. Some businesses do it differently. So however you want to do it is 100% by you, but you also want to do it in a way that is also going to be beneficial for both parties, you and the consumer, because you're the producer. You are what you eat, and you don't want to produce something for someone that's not going to enjoy what they're getting out of what they're receiving. So it's very important to look at these things from a standpoint of authority. So before we go, I wanted to know if anyone has any questions. I can see the chat is quiet. I know it's Christmas Eve. It's a good time of the day, but I wanted to make sure that I can answer any questions that we have here. And I see you, Kat, Nurana, Mo, Tella, Carla, and Mohammed. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you for being here on the Marketing Club on Clubhouse today. John Idongese, is anything you'd like to say? Last thoughts, contributions, questions? Feel free. The floor is yours. Let's go, John.
Well, hey, Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year. It is time to get off the devices and enjoy with family and friends. So I am going to do exactly that, and just wish everybody a happy day tomorrow. Enjoy your time, and then we'll get back at it. I know Favour and I have a lot to discuss for this new year 2026. So there's so much to discuss and so much strategy. But the thing that I want to leave you with is write your vision down, write it on a piece of paper, write everything you heard today. And I'm sure this is being recorded. Write what you want on a piece of paper and then build out a plan for that, what you want, and then execute. And then one of my things that I want to do, what personally for me, is stop the paralysis by analysis, right? In other words, being too perfect. Just get it out there, test, get it out there, test. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Merry Christmas and have a great holiday. Bye.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much, and welcome, Mo. Before we come to you, wanted to say, do you want to say anything, any comments before we go to Mo?
Yeah, it's all trial by error, guys. That's it. Just going off the, analysis paralysis, speaking from experience, get it out there. You have time to iterate. Sometimes we're scared of turning people off or not, getting the messaging right. You're not going to get the messaging right sometimes. Just get it out there. You may turn somebody off today, but you just never know. When you come back and reiterate and get things right, they can actually see the growth and be impressed by you. So plan out your year, continue to plan out your year, continue to iterate, and it's all about growth.
I love that you don't guess it. Thank you for sharing your time with us today. It was really good to see you on Clubhouse again, for sure. It feels refreshing to see your profile. I was like, oh, she popped in. So thank you for joining.
Happy holiday, everybody.
Happy holidays. Mo, we'd love to hear from you. Any question, thoughts? And he's gone. I think he's probably going to come back. If he does, I'll ask him. If not, then I know probably might be a glitch or his question was probably answered. But if not, then we'll wait for him. But either way, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you for being with us today on this topic when it's talking about what makes a high converting website, a converting website in itself. So before I go, Mo, I wanted to hear from you. Do you have any questions, thoughts? We'd love to hear from you. Welcome.
Thank you, Favour. First of all, thank you for having us, for sharing those precious and information. Before starting, my English isn't that perfect, so I'm gonna try to do it. I don't really need I don't have a real question, but I need some advices. But by the way, I was doing e-commerce for 4 or 5 years, and I stopped for 2 years. And 1 month ago, I've restarted my ideas, etc. So I've started a little business. The point is to the subject is to make a link between. Yeah, I'm gonna wait that you finished your call. You hear me? Can you hear me, Favour?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, okay. So I've launched a little business. So the point of the business is to it's the link. We are the link between the psychologists and customers. Okay, so that's the idea. So I've launched some campaigns on Facebook ads, but without connecting the website. It's with the Facebook leads. Okay, so I've launched my campaigns yesterday. I have a real good cost. So I have 38 leads for $20 or something like that. The thing is, I'm in a country that online payment isn't. Not everyone uses it. You see, so the point is, do you have any advice how we can without website can we do more on transforming those leads to a real to some real sale or act of buying?
Yes, I want to be very honest with you so that you can also get the feedback and it's not sugar coated and it's not fluffed or fluffy, there's no way you can go around not having a website. You know why I'm saying this? It's because I look at it from completely different angles. So let's say you're using Facebook to run ads, and the ads that you're running on Facebook are taking people to a website. That website is going to be your website or someone else's website. And if it's not your website, then you're spending your money on somebody else's property, which to me is a waste, because you're not able to track your data, you're not able to track back or read any type of analytics or make any informed decision about what you're spending and investing in. So that's where there could be a disconnect when you think about trying to use another alternative to, which is digital based. If it's a traditional, like in person, word of mouth, referral, sales, that's fine. But when it involves digital, clicking, emails, signups, processing, sales, finance, billing, shipping, it's a lot of details that you have to think about, because you have to think about the security of your consumer, and you also have to think about the security of your business. So if you're running ads, for example, to get leads on Facebook, you'd have to sign an agreement with Facebook, and you also have to put in your privacy policy disclaimer from your website to get leads on Facebook. So you can't go around a website to get to sales without having a website, because when someone's going to buy from you or purchase something from your ecosystem, there's going to be a website they're going to be on. It's either going to be your website or somebody else's website about you and your business. So I just want to give you that full playing field, so that when you're thinking about the strategies, you're not going to the point where you have to now backtrack because you missed a few steps along the way. So it's just a way to help. But the advice I would give you is have a website first. Build a website on any CMS, content management system, either WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, Tilda, Duda. There are so many out there, Magento. Create a website that people can see, have a domain that is secure, build it on a hosting server that can accept bandwidth and can also contain traffic. And then you connect your website to Google Search Console, Analytics, Tag Manager, and all those properties that are free from Microsoft too, with Bing and Microsoft Clarity. All these platforms are free. When you update that and you build your website, that's how you're able to increase the value. Why do I say that? Like with real estate, if you have a property, you build on that property or you build on that land. The reason why that land is appreciating in value is because the things around it and within it are increasing in value. Whether there's a new thing around that's coming, those are very important things to think about. So your business is one of those things that play a big role into how you're positioning yourself online. So I hope that helps and gives you some feedback. Mo, does that help? That's interesting that we both got on a phone call, but I will have to pick up the phone. But I hope this helped you, Mo. Are you there? Mo might be away, but that's okay. Just make sure you listen to the replay. There's a lot of information that you can get from this topic. And if you want more details, please reach out to me. And if you need SEO services, if you need marketing help, if you need insights, whether it's through consultation, implementation, audits, anything of that kind, please click the link above and you'll be redirected to booking a call with me. And pick a date and time that you're available. And I look forward to hearing from you as well. So thank you so much for listening. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a Merry Christmas and God bless you all. Take care. Stay hydrated, stay safe, stay warm. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Now, that was an episode, right? Thank you so much for listening to the We Don't Play podcast show. I'm so glad that you're here and you are sticking tight with us, especially to the very end. Now, this is season 11 and we're going to do it differently. And I want to make sure that every episode you listen to has something to give back so that you can also learn more after you listen. Now, We Don't Play podcast show is where you listen, you live, you learn, and you earn. So if you're in any of those positions out of those four, please make sure that you reach out to me. Send out an email through info@playinc.online. That's info@playinc.online. Or you could go to playinc.online, which is a website, www.playinc.online, playinc.online, and schedule a call so that we can get you on an SEO discovery call to talk about your business and help you with your marketing needs. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope this helped you. See you in the next episode. God bless you. Jesus loves you.